So the kingdom of heaven is an eternal kingdom where everything is settled, where God sees the end already happening just like you and I live in our present moment. He says, let me show you what the kingdom of heaven is like. It's like a drag net that a fisherman lets down. And see, I said we must go into the lake and into the stream to catch fish. But sometimes it's possible that even though we let down the net, that a fisherman can toil all day and all night and catch nothing. That becomes frustrating when you and I fish all day and catch nothing. In Luke chapter 5, the note that I made there was a time when these disciples, they had gone out fishing, caught nothing, and they were quitting. And Jesus said, launch out again and throw your net on the other side. And when they launched out, they got a great deal of fish that were drawn in. I want you to know that I know that it can be discouraging when you present witness and when you go out and do evangelistic work and nothing seems to be happening. And after a while, you just say, I ain't going fishing no more. But friends, if we don't fish, we can't catch fish. And my point is this morning is when fishermen stop fishing, then he stops catching fish. Now that is so logical and so reasonable, but sometimes it's not known because some of us have stopped fishing. Tom Rainier, in his book on reaching lost people, says that 80% of the people that come from the world to the church come because someone in the church invited them. Inviting people to church is the cheapest thing that we do. It's the most costly thing that we do not do. When was it that people of God stopped inviting people to come to worship? I think it's when we labeled all day and nobody came. But I'm telling you, if we don't go fishing, nobody's going to come. And if 80% of the people who are coming over the bridge from the world to the church were invited, we need to start inviting people to worship again. People come, Rainier says in his book, Reaching Lost People, because they're invited, but they stay because they feel love. Not only do we need to invite people to come to church, but we need to make sure they feel love once they get here. So therefore, when you invite people to church, set them down strategically next to somebody that's nice. Don't set them down next to none of them mean saints, okay? Set them down next to somebody who is nice. Because people, they come because they feel, because they're invited, but they stay because they feel loved. And friends, I am strategic. When I invite somebody and I see them come in, I say, oh, come with me. Let me tell you. I say, yeah. I say, this is a friend I invited. Sit next to them because I know that's a nice person. Oh, yeah, I know who you are out there. And so that becomes important because people come because they're invited, but they stay because they feel love. They not only stay because they feel love towards themselves. Listen, Jesus said it like this, by this shall all men know that you are my disciples, by the way you also love one another. So don't think that our first-time guests aren't looking at the way we treat each other. People come because they're invited, but they stay because they feel love. The moment we stop inviting people to worship is a moment that we relegate and we commit those lost fish to stay lost. When a fisherman stops fishing, he stops catching. God made too much of an investment in your life with this thing called eternal life to see you show up to heaven by yourself. God is a shrewd investor, and when you make an investment, you want to see your money grow. When God made an investment of eternal life in you, he doesn't expect you to come up to him at the end and pull your eternal life out and say, I stayed saved. I stayed saved. No, you kept your eternal life, but did you draw anybody else in? You cannot afford to show up to heaven by yourself. And when fishermen stop fishing, then no more fish are caught.